listen to the experts talk about business and what will be affecting us during this and maybe after the corona pandemic.
All right, thank you very much. Okay, let me also invite Imonje to tell us where he's logging in from. Imonje, and if you can hear me, please raise your hand up and then I will invite you to speak. As I said, take this as the time when you enter into the webinar and into a seminar and you're greeting people and you're just finding out about them. So Imonje Kubai, please talk to us, and then I'll come to you, Catherine Merimo. Imonje?
Yes.
Yes, please speak up.
I'm Imonje Kubai. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Yeah, I'm logging in from Nairobi. My company is called the IK Communication Agency. So what we do is we help individuals live life from the inside out. So what that means is we help them discover what their unique strengths, passions, and qualities are, then help them articulate that for themselves, and then see how that can find expression for them either in the workplace, so just help them gain more clarity and direction around what direction to take. And then help others also want to build their own brand, then build a brand that's unique to who they are.
All right. Okay, thank you very much, Imonje. Kate Wairimo, please talk to us. You may unmute yourself when you're ready.
Oh, good morning, people. It's a good morning. I am the creative director of the CEO of Royal Impact, a company that does unique creative products for companies as well as individuals. More of our products are environment friendly, 85% of them, and the 15% are not environment friendly. All we do is just make your brand unique wherever you go through our products. Thank you for this meeting. I have a lot of expectation and I'm glad to meet everyone who is here. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much for joining us, Kate. As I said, this is an opportunity for you to just introduce yourself, tell us about your company, tell us where you're joining from. You never know who's listening. So if you lift up your hand, I know you can hear me and I can allow you to then talk. All right, Christopher Karani, please talk to us and tell us where you're logging in from. Christopher.
Hi, good morning, everyone. My name is Christopher Karani. I'm logging in from South B in Nairobi. I work with Workforce Africa. Workforce Africa is a HR consulting firm. We basically do two things. We do labor outsourcing. So we are mainly employing people on behalf of companies. And then we do training. So basically we focus on only one training, so line manager training. For those employers that don't want to outsource their employees, we help their managers have the capability to manage their people in-house.
Right. Thank you. And how are you navigating the COVID crisis at this time? What's changing in your business?
So for sure we are affected because most of the companies are reducing their staff. So we are helping them just navigate because we don't want people to reduce and get sued down the line. So we are helping them to handle that. On our end, we are probably most online support. So maybe via guiding the HR managers in these respective organizations on how to manage the transition, but also some new capability building for future. Like, for instance, we are helping companies craft policies on how to work from home or how to manage performance on working from home. So we are helping companies craft such policies and get ready for future.
All right.
Yeah, but I'm looking forward to this session.
Okay, thank you very much, Christopher. I'm looking for other hands to go up. Mary Kiguru, I've allowed you to speak, and then after that we'll talk to Catherine. Mary Kiguru, please go.
Good morning, everyone. I work with Education for All Children. I'm calling in from Rwai. And what basically we do is that we are an education to employment program, which means we provide access to education. And through the process, we build competencies that will enable them integrate in the job market. We run an 8-year program. And I'm glad to join in to learn about how people are coping with the COVID-19.
Right, okay, thank you very much. Let me invite Catherine to talk. Catherine, you may unmute yourself when you're ready and go. If you're joining us on Facebook, you may please give us your comment at the bottom of the screen. There's a place where you can say put on comments and we shall be able to respond to them. Otherwise, for now, Catherine, please speak to us.
Hi, good morning, everybody. My name is Catherine. I'm joining you from New York City. It's very early in the morning for me, but I wanted to join in this conference call just to understand how you guys are handling the work from home situation and how you are monitoring staff, because I have a team of 18 and the biggest challenge I've had is how to supervise staff who are working from different homes. And I'd like to hear from your perspective how you do that.
Okay, thank you very much for joining us, Catherine. Today's topic is marketing and market research. So I'll invite Juliet Gatteri, who is one of our experts, to just speak onto that conversation about managing staff from home. She's our HR expert here at the Sandbox. And then I'm also going to just do an introduction later on the email so that you can be able to talk to Juliet Gatteri directly. But Juliet, welcome, say something.
Hi, everyone. Hi, Chris. Thanks for the meeting. It's also early for me, but I think it's now common to say it's early for me. I'm happy to be here. I think we've received a lot of complaints on how to monitor people working from home. But I think now the way things are, it's very difficult even for you to call for a meeting. We've noticed a lot of excuses like I don't have lights, and yet people don't want to attend meetings. So that's what I've realized. And I think the best way to monitor staff members who are working from home is just making sure you have clarity in terms of what are they expected to deliver, so that you are not over monitoring. You are just, for you as the supervisor or the manager or the owner of the business, you just want results. So it's not a matter of monitoring, because of course I can be working and watching a movie at the same time. So it's just focusing on the deliverables. So like I want 10 emails to be sent today. I want 10 clients to be called. So just having a clarity on the deliverables.
Okay. All right. Thank you very much, Juliet, for that conversation. Participants, please, you may also introduce yourself on the chat. Tell us your name, the name of your company, where you're logging in from, what your company does. If you have a pitch, put it on the chat so that we can be able to see who is here. I can see some repeat attendees. Thank you very much for joining us again. Olivia, Karibu Sana, Christopher Karani, Karibu Sana. We are glad you could take your time to join us. I'm still having a few more minutes, so if you want to speak, please raise your hand up and I'll allow you to introduce yourself, say your name and tell us a little bit about your company. Just adding my voice to that conversation around managing employees. I think one, set very clear objectives in terms of these are the deliverables that we want. Number two, have regular check-ins, either once every 2 days or once every day. Just checking in with people to see that they are working. Number three, provide them with the tools that they need to be able to deliver on the job that they do. And then also just calling to encourage your employees and to empathize with them. That can also help. I have also seen employers institute things such as timesheets where employees are able to record what they're doing, encouraging employees to set out of the objectives to set daily tasks ahead of time, and then being able to outline, document and say that those tasks were done. There are also softwares that can be used to manage tasks, simple ones like I think Google Task or Microsoft Tasks. They'll allow you to be able to put tasks and then be able to see that they have been done. Thank you very much, Washira, for introducing yourself right there on the chat. I'm encouraging all other participants to do the same. Today, as we converse, you will notice at the bottom of your screen, there's a Q&A button. I'll be inviting you to put your questions in the Q&A button, and I'll be inviting you to put your chats in the chat comment. And for the chat comment, I'm inviting you to put comments. What are you learning? What are you enjoying? What are you, what is it called? What are you picking up as insights? Thank you very much. We have more than 40 attendees online. It's now 10 minutes past 10, and I'm going to do the formal introduction of the sandbox and who we are. And then I'm going to introduce to you our panelists. Thank you very much for joining us. Today we're looking at marketing and market research, and we'll be listening to Tilvera, a marketing consultant based here at the Sandbox, and Amethyst, a market research consultant also based at the Sandbox. Let me invite Muthoni Mushai to give us an opening remark, just one sentence, Muthoni, opening remarks, and then Sharon, also one sentence opening remarks. Just welcome our participants to the webinar. Muthoni. You're muted, Muthoni. I've unmuted you, so. Okay, good. All right.
All right. Good morning, everyone. Thank you for joining in. So good to see all 40 plus of you here. We appreciate your presence. My name is Muthoni Mushai, as you have heard. I am the CEO of Tilvera Consulting Limited, a marketing and brand strategy company based here in Nairobi, Kenya. Karibuni sana.
All right, thank you very much. Sharon Bugwa, please unmute yourself and show us your video and give us your opening remark.
All right, I hope you can hear me.
Yes, we can hear you, Sharon.
All right. Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
All right. My name is Sharon Bugwa, and I'm the founder and business development director of an enterprise called Amethyst Consulting. Really glad to be here with all of you, and Karibuni.
All right, thank you very much, Sharon. Just a quick note, the Sandbox has been designed to just support your business, and we align ourselves to the level of business growth that you are at. We have experts, different experts, up to 25 experts who are here to develop solutions for your business. We can help you to professionalize your business. We can help you to harness your strength. We can help you to close gaps. We want to connect you to other entrepreneurs, and we want to help you to acquire new customer bases. We do this primarily through seminars, such as the one we have today, and webinars where you acquire knowledge and you acquire skills. We also have workshops. These give you tangible outputs on particular subjects. And we also have coaching, which helps you to develop practical steps in your business. And we have consulting, where we help you to develop transformative solutions. When you come to the Sandbox, you can expect the full support of the entire complement of experts right here at the Sandbox. So in terms of just our presentation today, we are joined by, as you heard, Muthoni Mushai, who is going to be talking to us about relationship marketing during COVID-19. As I said before, your questions, please put them in the Q&A part of the Q&A button, and we'll be able to respond them there. And your comments in terms of what you're learning and what you're liking, please put those in the chat. You may continue to introduce yourself and tell us about your business, because as the entrepreneurs read and figure out about your business, they are going to be able to make connections with you. Right now, let me invite Muthoni Mushai to share with us her screen and presentation and get ready to walk us through relationship marketing during COVID-19 times. All right. As Mudhoni prepares her screen, let me invite the participants to give us a comment on the chat box. The question that I'd like you to answer is, how are you maintaining relationship with your customers during this time? What are some of the things you're doing to maintain relationship with your customers during this time? If you're listening to us from Facebook, on Facebook Live, please type on the comment box there how you are maintaining relationships with your customers at this time. Mudhoni, your PowerPoint presentation is ready and it's on the screen, and I'm going to hand over the microphone to you. Mudhoni, you may continue.
Can you hear me, everyone?
Yes, we can hear you.
Oh, great. All right. So today's topic is relationship marketing in COVID-19 era. I think it's an extremely important topic for business people out there to help us build our resilience during this extremely tough times. So just a small snippet of what Tilvera Consulting does. Tilvera Consulting is a marketing and brand strategy firm. We do brand advisory, we do event and profession-based congress management. For more information, the last slide will have our website, our contacts. You can contact us for any advice or for more information. So getting right into the topic of the day, we're going to talk about, we'll start with the starting point basically, the new normal, what's the new normal, emerging trends currently. We'll also talk about the how can we plug into this disruption, all right? So the first thing that marketers need to know is, one, consumer attitudes are changing. They're not going to be the same. Number two, the spending and buying patterns are also changing. Marketers must begin here. They must be able to adjust to this disruption by realizing that the journey. So the more, the things we've taken for granted as human beings, as Kenyans, going for a wedding, meeting up friends for a meal, dinner, lunch, a date, traveling, country bus station, going to board a bus to Ushago, going to the gym, going to the marketplace, to the indoor tables, going to a church, plane to go to wherever, schooling, supermarket. These are all the things that our life revolved around pre-COVID. We did this with, let me class about, we never thought about, even I thought like, what do I do before I leave the house? That's things we were used to, but we've taken it for granted because what does the new normal dictate today? We're adapting to working, shopping, all these things, praying, working out from the comfort of our home, even learning. Some of these habits will and have become the new normal. Please remember that the best companies in the world are preparing now for how to meet the needs of consumers where they are at. Long gone are the days where you're expecting 10, 20 people to walk into your shop or to come to your office for a consultation. Like for us, we are doing literally all the business that we are conducting on phone. We are talking to clients, we are having these webinars with our clients, prospective clients on the phone. So we need to be able to meet our clients where they are. Don't expect consumers will return to the same place. And I'll tell you why. Mortimer J. Adler says, habits are formed by the repetition of particular acts. They are strengthened by an increase in the number of repeated acts. What we're doing today, washing our hands, literally, sanitizing, wearing our masks, keeping social distance, these things become the new normal. They become so ingrained in us that it basically will become the normal, So what are the kind of emerging trends we're seeing happening today? There's a lot of panic buying and stocking of essentials. People are going crazy. More people opting for home-cooked meals or home deliveries. Travel restrictions that are impacting travel, tourism, hospitality, and imports. We're avoiding luxurious shopping. I don't know who right now is doing luxurious shopping. We're all trying to save the coins we have because we don't know what this uncertain future looks like. We're also doing a lot of online shopping through mobile devices from the comfort of our homes, okay? So this disruption has happened. There's nothing we can do to sort of right now go back to the old normal. Let me call it the old normal. So what do we need to do? One, we must adapt. we must adapt. Psychologically, we must prepare ourselves for what the new normal holds, what the new normal looks like. There's no change about that. The world is going to look different on the other side of COVID-19, everybody. Teams are strengthening their muscles. They're creating engaging and targeted digital experiences so that they can gain that competitive edge when COVID is over. Are you doing that for your company? Are you thinking about the future? Let's move on to the next point. Number 2, relationship marketing. And this is the flesh of my presentation today. I think we take so many things for granted. Completely, so many things for granted. I talked about how we're not having customers coming to our offices to do consults. We're not going out into the field to do research. We're not going out to meet with other fellow marketers. I mean, physically, face to face. So relationship marketing is ideally customized or customed to foster customer loyalty, interaction, and long-term engagement. These are the 3 things that relationship marketing goes to do. Number 2, it provides them with information directly suited to their needs and interests by promoting open communication. What are we talking about? Oh, there's a problem with my video. Can you hear me though? I can see my video is off.
Yes, we can hear you. Please proceed. We can hear you.
All right, excellent. Yeah. So what does relationship marketing do? It fosters the direct communication with your clients. You meet your clients at their specific needs and interests. This is not the time to shove down a new product down the throats of your customers. Meet them at their needs. Find out, customers, what exactly do you need? How can we help you? Is it a home delivery? How can we help you make your plans? Even for us in marketing consultancy, we sit down with our clients online. We strategize for the future as we're strengthening our muscles before we get into, or rather preparing for post-COVID. I think the other thing is the service-based industry is now at the forefront in the economic evolution, okay? Relationship marketing theory proposes that a company delivers value to its customers. By delivering this value, you strengthen that relationship with your customer, okay? By so doing, you also further improve and increase the retention of that customer or their loyalty. What happens when a customer is loyal? They tell other people, word of mouth. They tell other people about the product and other people, and hence you have this army of people who are buying into your product and buying into your company, okay? So let me get into the pillars of relationship marketing, and this is where the flesh of the relationship marketing is. Number 1, customer engagement. How are you engaging your customers? Is it a 2-way communication? Are you demonstrating that you're listening to your customers as well as driving ongoing sustained interest in a text interaction? Okay. Number 2, customer experience. The how, not just the what. Excellence in how a product or service is provided. You have to be on top of your game. Differentiating your product in service-related areas. If you used to do delivery, for example, if already your company used to do deliveries to your consumers where they are in the office space, in their home space, what's the extra thing you're doing? What's that extra caution you're giving them? Or even giving them a message, for example, we're going to make this delivery. We just want you to know that our staff is well prepared, they're sanitized, they're wearing the protective gear, just that you go a step deeper, give them that full experience, let them know what exactly is happening. So you're not just talking about the product features that, oh, our product is going to do this and that, things they already know. Give them more value. That is the experience we are talking about today. The third thing, segmentation. What am I talking about? Segmenting customers based on preferences and executing against this in a real-time manner. Let me give you an example. Where I live, we have an estate group. And in this estate group, there's a person who had a contact of Farmer's Choice. So Farmer's Choice had, let me call them a brand ambassador in our estate. And they talked to these people and said, we would like to come and deliver our product range in your estate if you can just maybe shout about it on your WhatsApp group. So I got curious and I really wondered, what is their strategy? How are they getting this brand ambassadors in every estate at home? They're doing something called segmentation. You see, like, for example, the Coke distributors, they have regions they've segmented. That is what Farmer's Choice, and I'll get into other examples towards the end, that they're doing. So this is extremely important to do so as to get that competitive edge. Number 4, customization. One-to-one customer communication that is tailored to this preference specifically. Let's stop selling ballpark wholesale things. Find out exactly what does your customer need. Give them this product or this service in accordance with their preferential needs. Number 5, permission-based relationship, opt-in, opt-out. We're now embracing technology, as we spoke about earlier. We're now trying to get platforms where we can engage with our customers. For example, SMS-based. You can ask your customers, you can opt in to be getting reports or updates on the product or the services that we are giving. Are you doing that for your customer? All right. 6, community. This is important because the customer needs to feel, the customer needs to sense, or rather foster a sense of community among your customers. They need to feel or perceive that they're part of a larger group, that they're part of an elite, quote unquote, group that endorses your product or your service. This is extremely important. Now, there are many companies that are doing the things I have just spoken about, and I just want to give you a snippet just to see how these companies have readjusted to the new normal. Okay, for example, FMCGs. We have people actually selling packed food already, whether it's pilau, whether it's fish, whether it's the fruit vendors, veggies, they're doing all this. I just talked about Farmer's Choice, delivering on certain days and not every day of the week, just to help, foster the feeling of being safe and making you feel that you're not going to have to go to the supermarket or out of your way to get to their products. They are meeting you at your points of need. Kimfe, Zucchini have been doing this for a long time. Jumia, Glovo, delivery, you go to their website and pick the things you need. They're delivered within minutes. Again, these people have done segmentation and their staff is dealing with segmented areas in Nairobi to be able to meet your needs in real time. Even just within the estate, even looking at small vendors, people who are just starting out. This Tamu Foods is actually from one of my estate members. It's a business she started just before the COVID. And it's doing great because, you have kids you're taking care of, you're doing all these things. So she's meeting her clientele at the point of need. Let's talk about the medical fraternity. What are they doing? I don't know how many of you know Coptic Hospital on Gong Road. They send this message to their clients, people on their database. Imagine you can get an eye consultation via Zoom. Did we ever think that the day would come where we'd have consultations online? This is amazing. Bayer and Allergan are also pharmaceutical companies. What they're doing is they're focusing on the opt-in. So they're calling the doctors who push the products and saying, could we please put you into this database? We have the CRM and then we want to be contacting you, updating you on the COVID situation, how our products are being adjusted to that. And I think it's a fantastic idea. Let's not forget the banking industry. They're now giving people concessions or forbearances where they're saying to you, within the next 3 months, we don't expect you to pay the loan. It's not a debt forgiveness. It's just a concession. And I think this is going to alleviate a lot of stress that a lot of Kenyans are going through during this time. So these are just some of the examples that we picked. And you can mention so many. There's your local vendors at home. There's Novartis and all these other people who are doing all these wonderful things to sort of meet their clients at their points of need, foster this relationship. Now, marketing in the new normal. We've talked about the pillars. We talked about the customer engagement. We've talked about the relationship building, the segmentation, etc. I want you to understand that by doing this, you need to anticipate for this to be successful. The way Barclays is doing it, Glovo, Jumia, and all these other people we can borrow a leaf from, they anticipate customer needs. They leverage on technology. How do they get to their customers? Where do they put out this information? 3, they're present in the digital world. They're not just silent and waiting for COVID to end and then they spring into action and say, guys, we've been here. This is what's going on. They have plugged themselves and sort of really dug deep in that relationship. They are focused on the customer experience more than ever. If your business is not customer-centric ideally, well, this is the time to put those thoughts aside and try to see how to foster, in whichever little way, that you can foster this relationship with your customer. Last but not least, transform into a purpose-led brand. There's Betika, for example, the betting firm. I saw a billboard the other day on Bagathi. They're not selling betting anything. They're just telling people, keep safe. Keep safe. We will remember these messages of companies that showed us they cared about us, cared about how we're protecting ourselves in these strenuous times. Now, my question to you is, how will you adjust? Whatever size of business you are, how are you going to adjust? I do realize that different businesses do different things and you're scaled differently, but you must find a way to adjust. And we are here as Silvera Consulting to also guide you and help you understand how you can scale your business, how you can adapt to relationship marketing, how you can even just sit back and work on your marketing plans for the future. Now is the time to strengthen your business. Now is the time to meet your clients at their point of need. Asanteni sana. Thank you very much.
Right, Mudhoni, thank you very much for that presentation. Before you remove your slide, can you please go back to just the previous slide where you were asking the participants how they will adjust? All right, good. Participants, I'd like you to tell us how you will adjust on the chat button. Please just answer that question on the chat and tell us how you will adjust or how you are already adjusting, because one of the things I've found within these webinars is that when participants are able to talk to each other, they're able to share ideas and actually become better. You know, in a sense, yes, you're coming to the sandbox and you're coming to listen to the experts, but you yourself are an expert because you've been running your business for so many years and you have a lot to offer and you have experiences that is on the ground. And so when you share those tips with other participants, they are actually finding value in those things. So I'm encouraging you, just tell us, how will you adjust? And if you have questions, please put it in the Q&A. Mudhoni, I think we have enough time to answer one or two questions. And there's a question there by Washira Gitai who's asking, how can companies approach marketing and advertising during this COVID-19 pandemic? I think I'm going to allow you to answer that answer it live so that participants can be able to hear that, answer that live. For other participants, this webinar is available on our Facebook page and it is going to be on recorded. But let me see how you're adjusting as Mudhoni answers that question.
The question, as Washira has asked, is how are companies approaching marketing, or how can a company approach marketing and advertising during this COVID-19 pandemic? Washira, thank you very much for your question. I think the first thing is companies, to be quite honest, are not really spending on pushing their products per se as they were. Looking at the marketing budgets, Q1 of last year and Q1 of this year comparatively, there's been a reduced spend. What I would advise these companies to do, or how to go about advertising, is number one, try to see, do they have a product that is relevant at this point in time that they can use to sort of advertise? Can they advertise it? For example, the people who are doing the masks, gloves, sanitizer, all those things. That's number one. Number two, you can also just send messages out to your customers, as Betika is doing. They're not selling a product. They're just telling people, keep safe. We are here for you. Stay at home and all these other things. You'll still remain top of mind on your consumer's mind. You still remain top of mind. Don't let them not go silent. Please look for ways to engage your customers. You can reduce your marketing spend by maybe going the digital way. If they used to do, say, billboards and radio, and maybe they're a bit strained with that kind of budget, let them look for other more affordable ways. And they are there to get your messaging out, to still advertise and remain relevant during this time.
All right. Okay. Thank you very much, Mudhoni. Participants, please just tell us on the chat how you're planning to engage your customers, or how are you currently engaging your customers. Kevin Mutugi says he will borrow a leaf from Betika and just SMS the clients and just tell them, keep safe, we are here for you. Somebody else is offering value-added service to their clients, especially how to develop home working policy. Phone consultations on people management are free. Charity is from a company called Ask a Dog. How are you engaging your customers at Ask a Dog? Please tell us that on the chat. And we'll engage. Thank you very much, Sharon. I'm going to invite, sorry, thank you very much, Mudhoni. I'm going to invite Sharon to share her screen. Sharon, please share your screen so that you get ready for the presentation. Sharon is going to be talking to us today about market research. So building upon where Muthoni has left in terms of getting to actually understand where your customers are. She's going to take us deeper into that. So Sharon, if you could please share your screen so that then we can be able to make your presentation. All right, as Sharon shares her screen, is there any participant who'd like to speak on the what is it called? Speak on the webinar. If you'd like to speak on the webinar as a participant, please raise your hand and I'll allow you to make a comment on what Muthoni has shared. As we wait for Sharon to share her screen. Or one of the things that you are doing. Anyone who's doing anything? There, raised hand. Okay, so Kevin, please talk to us. I've allowed you to talk. Kevin, you may unmute yourself and speak. Okay, Angela, if you're ready, please unmute yourself and speak. As we wait for Kevin to find the unmute button. Angela? Angela, Kevin? Okay, Sharon, your presentation is on screen, so yes, you may proceed. Kevin and Angela will come back to you later on and allow you to speak to us. All right, now let me allow Sharon to make a presentation. Sharon, over to you. Sharon, you may... Sharon?
Yes.
Okay, if you're ready, you may present. We can hear you.
You can, right?
Yes.
All right, great. So good morning once again to everyone on this webinar and the team who's part of it. Thank you, Muthoni, for your presentation. You'll excuse me, I have a small challenge with my video, but I'll go again and share whatever I have with you. And so once again, within the context of what we're talking about, building our business resilience, this is just a continuation of the actionable insights that we're looking at. We're looking to develop plans and we're looking to successfully navigate the realities that we are facing right now. And so within the context of building your marketing engine, one of the things that we are looking to do as a team, so just to go back a little, Amethyst Consulting, of which I direct, is a market and talent assessment evaluation enterprise, which means that we are able to offer both market research and market analysis services, as well as help you assess your talent through various psychometric tests that we have franchising for. And so our key thing is that we take pride in finding out what your customers have to say about your product or service brands. Muthoni took us through the importance of brands. And we do this so that you can focus on growing your business. We would like you to stay focused on your business, on the things that you need to do to grow. So you leave it to us so that we can find out what customers have to say through our different evaluation tools. And so I'll begin with just taking us into the context in which we find ourselves and just sharing some truths that I believe you will agree with me on. So the first thing we are facing at the moment as teams, as businesses, are the impacts of the shutdown. We'll find ourselves in both partial shutdowns, as we have in Kenya, and in some countries, they're complete lockdowns across a whole number of sectors. And what this means in the short term, and some of the things that have already happened, for instance, in Kenya, is that the government steps in to support with tax reliefs, as well as stimuli packages, which then provide much needed SME support. I believe you'll agree with me that some of the tax reliefs that have already been offered by the government, for instance, in our country, do mean that we are helped. We We are helped in terms of our taxation, for instance, the VAT reduction. And so some of these things that country governments are doing then really support both small, medium, and larger sized companies. The other thing that we find in the current context are supply chain disruptions. And so across different sectors, I believe almost all sectors have been affected by this. We have a reduction in the available inputs that we're using. A lot of what we use for different inputs across different sectors, for instance, manufacturing, construction, a lot of these come from outside the country. China is a big one, as well as a few other countries. And because of this COVID-19, because of all the shutdowns and the fact that we have disruptions in the supply chain, this does affect our production. This does affect the creation of the products that we're looking to send out as far as our exports, as well as challenges in terms of the supply chain inputs that we regularly import. The third thing I will mention that is a reality within our current context in COVID-19 is demand depression. And what does that mean? It means for a lot of us, we're experiencing lower sales for both our products and our services. As a result, then we also have reduced buying from our customers. And this is a reality based on their economic challenges. And we also then have less consumer spend. There's less disposable income to be able to spend on especially preferred products and services that we usually enjoy, some of our favorite products, some of the things we like to consume. We just have less disposable income to be able to do this. The other challenge we face is that should we seek credit for the different things that we need to invest in, the current services are overstretched. What is available for us to borrow then reduces in this instance of COVID-19. But I think the great news is that we will recover. Our businesses will enter a recovery phase. And so if we look post-COVID-19, whenever that will be, we know that even if in the beginning it may not be at optimal levels, there will be a return to economic activity. And some of the sectors in which we expect to see a return to a level of growth include retail, include manufacturing, include the creative sector, fashion and arts as examples, and include education. There are some countries, Germany is an example, who have already made strides as far as containing this pandemic and are actually planning to reopen schools by the end of May. And so this is a passing phase in as much as it is difficult right now. And I encourage us to focus on the future because whether sooner or later, it will come. And so taking us back to the context of our presentation, what is market research? I found in my experience that you have a lot of people who may have some idea of what it is, but may not always know the extent of what it is able to do. And so I have the image on the left that sort of gives us an idea of some of the terms and some of the things that we look at when we are offering market research services. You will see on the left of the image that it talks about analyzing customers, and that's all about analyzing their customer behavior. We see on the right-hand side the marketing word, which means that market research does fall within the purview of marketing as a service. On the left, we'll see insights on the top left, and that's one output again of the market research process. We see statistics on the top, and that is another reality within the market research process. Step by step towards almost the end of the process, we do engage in some statistical work. And then we see competitors on the bottom left, because again, as we're going out and we're speaking to customers, we then also get a sense from them of what they experience and what they use as far as competition products. And in order to just give you a better picture of the process, the where we begin is identifying unanswered questions. And so what we would typically do with you as a business is sit down and have conversations as far as what are the pain points that your business is facing? What are the challenges that you would like to address? And we put these together and have an agreement of some of the way forward in terms of looking for some of these answers. The next thing we will do is design the tool that we would like to use for market research. And some of these I will explain in a bit more detail as we go along. We also then agree on a representative sample of the population of interest. And so typically, for instance, if you are running a finance SME, some of your customers may be people who have, they have some products, they have some investments within the scope of your business. And so that would form then the population of interest. Those are the people that you'd be interested to hear from in terms of how they are interacting with your service. And we then pick a representative sample because we're not able to speak to the whole sample. We then look at collecting data from our customers. And there's different ways to do this, again, which I'll touch on as we go along. And the main thing that we're looking to do from data collection is to find out what are the important elements about your brand. What are the things that you're really keen to know in terms of the status of where your brand sits in your current and potential consumers' mind. Additionally, like I mentioned earlier, based on the feedback you'll get from your consumers, from your customers, you'll be able to get a sense of how you fare against your competition. We all agree that in business, this is a reality that you cannot not face. And so it's important to then hear from your customers. What else are they doing? Who else are they working with? Who else are they buying from? So that you're better informed as you go forward. After that, we look at analyzing the data that comes out of the research. And this is possible both on and offline, because we also are able to do that for digital research. And online that becomes the digital research, as well as offline. The next thing will be interpreting the insights that come through. After we data collect, after we've gone through the different analysis processes, we'll be sure to unveil some insights, some things that perhaps validate some of the things that we had thought about, but often we find new revelatory insights, things that we weren't expecting that then come through from the research studies that we do. The last stage, typically in a market research process, is to then develop and share out the findings of our reports. Once we've come through the whole process, we will come out with a lot of data, which then is packed into information. And then this information is shared with you as clients, as different business people who are then invested in this process. When we consider all these things and all these activities, and the fact that we're talking about the marketing engine as we speak, why are we looking at this now? And the key thing that I would say is that as you intentionally evaluate your marketing activity, because market research looks to primarily evaluate the different steps in marketing, in your marketing process, you will be able to have the ability to do three things. You will be able to understand where your customers are at, as well as what they are thinking, because research is able to help you evaluate what are the levels of awareness of your brand, whether a product or service. How well do your customers, potential and current, know about you? The next step we would be looking at is consideration. Once they know about you, are they willing? Are they thinking about trying out your product or service? From there, we look at trial, where we've said, you have a customer who's aware, you have a customer who's thought about you, and they're now willing to try out what you have to offer. The goal, again, for a lot of us as businesses is then to move our potential customers to current by having them convert into regular usage of your products or services. And lastly, we would be aiming for loyalty to our brands, because that means then even in the middle of competition, our customers are so loyal to us, are so loyal to what we say, are so loyal to what we do, to how we treat them, so that they are not willing to look at competitor brands. The next thing that we expect you'll be able to do is to understand the status of your industry, because we all exist in different industries as businesses. Is there room within your industry and within your business to innovate? Are there possibilities in this crisis? And I believe even through the different webinars that we've gone through, we've talked a lot about innovation possibilities. And again, from speaking to our customers, we'll be able to get a sense of how they see us within our industries, which then gives us an opportunity to come in, to look inward and be able to see what are the different things we can do differently. And innovation doesn't have to be from scratch. It would just be tweaking a little of the products or services that you can offer. The third thing I expect that market research evaluation would be able to support you in is to understand where your business is in the wider society. Businesses exist within societies, in countries. And so this does give us a chance that once we understand where we sit, then we're then able to explore some opportunities, examples being business partnerships. We may find that as service or product businesses that are sharing or selling similar services and products, there's opportunity to come together and form partnerships. There's opportunity to collaborate with other businesses as we all work together to deliver to our customers. And these three key things are what you should be able to leave with as you evaluate your marketing activity. Just going into a little more detail into how this process would work. The first step is, once again, as already mentioned, and I would like to emphasize, that we're identifying current information gaps. A lot of the times as businesses, we have a sense that there's something we don't know and there's something we want to know more about. Some examples are, we have declining sales. We're not sure about what customers feel about our brand when they see us, when they engage with us. We are in a situation where we have teams that we work with, and in as much as then it's important to look out for them and to check in on our employees, it's equally important to be able to get a sense of their level of satisfaction. How are they thinking and feeling within this situation? And market research is able to do that for you. The second step would be to then frame specific and targeted questions to customers. We've all, I believe, probably been exposed to brief surveys, perhaps on Google Docs or other platforms that ask us information and want to find out more about us. And we should be able, and I believe our expectation would be, that the questions we are asked are targeted. We're able to do this across different methodologies and formats. And not to get too technical, again, these are just some examples of different methodologies we can use. Broadly, we can decide whether we're looking at quantitatively, where we want to find out how many of our customers feel about a certain thing. And qualitatively is another option, where we're finding out what is the why. Why do they feel this about our product or services? We can then speak to customers randomly, which means that there's no particular order in which we establish who we're going to speak to, or have panels, where panels are individuals where you speak to them regularly and you keep going back to them after a series of a period of time. Other platforms that we have are the mobile platform, telephone or computer aided, and paper-based methods of collecting data. The third step will be processing the customer feedback. Once we have all this data from our customers, potential or current, we're then able to use various statistical tools, especially for quantitative research and for qualitative research, where we've looked at why do our customers feel this way about us. We're then able to use exploratory tools to be able to make sense of what customers are telling us. And the last step in this process, once we've established what the customers are saying, once we've been able to get some insights from the whole process, I encourage us as businesses, as clients, to listen objectively. We need to be open to some of the insights that are coming out. As I mentioned before, there will be some insights that may validate some of the things we were thinking about, but also we are likely to get some new insights about our products and service brands. And so it's important to be open to what these insights are and follow this with necessary as well as timely action. That we let our insights, we let what is coming through from the research activity support our business decision making. We should then be able to observe and track customer behavior changes once we've taken these actions, and then be able to repeat the process from the top as we need to. We've talked about a lot of possibly serious but applicable things. And so on a light note, I just want to leave you with the thought that the most important thing in life is not to know everything, but from our customers, from the people that we're looking to get information on, we can have the phone number of somebody who does.
Thank you very much, Sharon, for that presentation. Thank you very much, Sharon. Do we have questions for Sharon? Please, let's put them in the Q&A. Ronnie, we have several questions in the Q&A that need your attention, and I think you've answered some of them. So participants, if you have a question which you have put in the Q&A, please just go to the Q&A button and you look at the answered tab and you'll find the answers to your questions. Sharon, thank you very much for that presentation. If you have a question for Sharon, I'm going to invite you to put it in the Q&A button. It's now 4 minutes to the end of our time together, and I'd like to just make my final presentation to you so that at 11 o'clock on the nose, we can allow you to leave the webinar. And what we are saying is, at this particular point in time, in terms of just the next steps, is, are you ready to go back to work? And are you ready to engage? Because as much as we are in this current lockdown, you need to start thinking about what is going to happen as the lockdown either reduces or as we go to the new normal. So the social distancing are still here, the curfews are still here. You need to put together your work from home arrangements. You need to think about the workplace shutdowns. You need to talk about what are you going to do with employees who are on leave and who you're bringing back. What are you going to do about redundancies? What is happening around frustrated contracts? What's happening around economic slowdown? To help you think through some of these questions, we have what we are calling engagements with our experts. You can engage for coaching sessions. You can engage for consulting. You can continue to attend our webinars. We are having this every week. On Wednesdays, we have strategy tips from 9 to 10 a.m. And on Fridays, we have expert tips at 2 p.m. And next Friday is a holiday. It's the 1st of June. It's the 1st of May. And so we'll be having our webinar on Thursday. So we'll be having the webinar on Thursday, just the day before the holiday. You may follow us on Facebook. That's facebook.com/sandboxke. And when you go there, you'll find various articles that have been written by our experts that are just giving you tips on how to navigate this current scenario. You may also write us an email, karibu@sandbox.ke, or you may connect with a coach on WhatsApp, 0701-560-203 to engage with a business coach. So we are inviting you to engage with us, and we are here to support you, and we're here to help you do your business. Other than that, let me say that we are getting to 10 o'clock, and if you had an event to attend to right after this, thank you very much for having joined us. Let me invite my panelists to make their closing remarks. We will remain on the call until 10 minutes past 10, just to be able to answer questions that are coming up to engage participants. Because what I want you to do is I want you to think about this as a normal seminar. When you come to the end of the seminar, the panelists or the speakers will give their closing remarks. We'll close the seminar and then we'll exit. And as we exit, we'll keep talking to each other, we'll keep greeting each other, and we'll keep engaging. So that's what we're going to do 10 minutes after the for 10 minutes after after 10 o'clock, so that we just get to know who was here, what you learned, what you're able to take away. But for now, let me invite my panelists to give their closing remarks, and I'm going to invite Muthoni Muchai to just give her closing remarks, and then we'll come to Sharon. So Muthoni, you may speak to us, give us your closing remarks. You need to unmute yourself.
Thank you for listening to me. I think my parting shot is just to remind you that we are going to get to the other side of COVID-19. This is the time to strengthen your muscle, your relationship marketing muscle with your clients. Adapt, re-strategize, reinvent yourself. Don't get tired of reaching out to clients. Most of you, or some of you, could be introverts, but this is the time you can even enlist help or enlist guidance on how to reach out to your customers to make sure you're still top of mind. Remember, top of mind equals to brand loyalty, equals to sales, equals to word of mouth, equals to, it's a vicious cycle. I think you get the drift. Asanteni sana.
Thank you very much, Muthoni. Sharon, closing remarks.
All right. So I would agree with the importance of staying top of mind, and I would want to emphasize that one of the best ways that we can do this is approach our customers, approach them with care, but also approach them seeking to find out specifics about what they have to say for our products and services. It's important to hear what customers have to say so that even as we are innovating and even as we're looking to new ways to do this, we keep checking in with our customers to see how they are appreciating this. And as they give us feedback, then we'll be able to tweak accordingly. So thank you.
All right, thank you very much. Participants, thank you very much for joining us. As you exit the webinar, there'll be a feedback form. We'd like you to tell us what you enjoyed and how we can improve our webinar. So the feedback form will open in your browser window or in your browser window, and you can fill it in there. Alternatively, you could give us your comment on the chat. So just tell us on the chat as you exit what you enjoyed, what you learned, how we can change. The link for the webinar feedback is also right there on the chat, so you can also just click on it. Otherwise, right now, what we're going to be doing is, for the next 10 minutes, we're going to engage with the participants who are exiting and who are left, and going to answer their questions. Thank you very much, Kezia, for that comment about valuable tips. We appreciate. And yeah, so as I said, please give us your comments on the chat as you exit, and fill in the survey also as you exit. If you'd like to speak, please raise your hand up, and I will be able to engage you and allow you to say something. I think earlier we had some participants who had wanted to say something. So if you'd like to speak, please just raise your hand up. I will see it and I will allow you to talk. Juliet, are you still on the line with us? If you're still on the line with us, I'll invite you to make a comment, a question that Kevin Mutugi has asked about. I can't afford to keep guys on the payroll. What are my options? I have a wonderful team. I wouldn't want to leave them. But I can also open up that question just to other participants. I'm sure this is not something new. So all our participants here, what have you done with the amazing and lovely stuff that you had that you couldn't afford to let go, but you can't also afford to pay them because business has gone. So it's not their fault that the shop is closed and there's no more business. So how do you maintain team members? So if anyone has done that, I'd like to hear so that we can be able to, all of us, help Kevin. So if you want to speak, you can raise your hand. If you want to answer that question on the chat, please do so and answer that question on the chat. My perspective on how to keep employees during this time, it's a very tough reality, Kevin. I'm just imagining if you are running a restaurant and you had good staff members, they were good cooks, they were good waiters, and they were serving the customers well, and now you have closed, your options are very limited in the sense of what to do. But I think one of the participants earlier last week said that she called all her employees together and they discussed as a team and talked about what are we going to do. our shop is closed. We are not able to make any more sales. What can we do? And the employees actually came up with very many useful tips, including who can go on leave and who can remain, working in shifts, reducing the amount of time everyone is working. And they came up with a method where everybody remains to do little work and everybody remains to get paid. But they had some money to be able to make some payments, and they also had some customers. But for you, if you don't have any customers whatsoever, then you just have to sit down and talk to the employees and ask them what their opinion is. But at the end of the day, it's also to engage them. You can maybe train them on new skills during this time so that they can acquire new skills and new training. But yeah, your options are very tight. And I'd like to hear from other participants. What are you guys doing out there to keep and engage your employees? And what are the comments you have for us in terms of what you're learning? Anne Comera says she's picked up some tips on how to boost her marketing skills and her marketing activities. She runs an audit consultancy. Yeah, so we can maintain and we can do that. Any participant out there who wants to say something? Today, you guys are very silent. I'm very grateful that you came, but I'd also like you to talk. As I said, this is a time when you're exiting the seminar and you get to talk to other participants and you get to engage with them. Thank you very much for joining us, Asha. I wonder, how are you doing the plays? If you could tell us how you're doing the plays, it would be very nice. Do you expect to see something on YouTube? Okay. All right. So an attendee there says you can keep some, if your business is big enough, you can defer paying employees until you're back in business. So you can basically just tell them, we won't pay you now, but when you're back in business, we'll pay you. So you sort of like accrue a liability on the employees, which helps them to maintain. Right. How are other SMEs surviving? How are you guys surviving? What are you guys doing out there to survive and to navigate this time? Right, okay. Solomon says big DJs are doing live sessions on Instagram and YouTube. But if you don't have a lot of following, media live sessions may not work. So you have to reinvent yourself anyway. Yeah, and Solomon Odero has a video, an event coming up later this evening. So maybe, Solomon, you can type the link to your event on the chat so that participants who may be interested can sort of try and find it. Yeah, so Catherine says, thank you very much for the webinar. We appreciate. Okay, yeah. Good, all right, participants, as I said, if you raise your hand up, I'll be able to engage you. And I'll be able to allow you to speak and tell us what you learned today, and tell us what you learned today, and tell us how you're going to apply what you're learning. And you can also just talk about your business. You never know what other participants who are here. Yeah. Catherine says she's learned a lot, and her objective now is to remain top of mind of the clients, remain top of mind. Yeah, and that's actually a very good thing. You want to remain top of mind because when all this is over, your client is going to want to know that you are there for them. Okay. All right. All right, participants, we have 1 minute to the end of our webinar. So Is there anybody who would like to say something as they close? All right. Mine says the session was very informative. Thank you very much, Mine, for that comment. Solomon says, if you want to join the virtual party on Zoom tonight, please email oderosolo@gmail.com. All right. If you'd like to join the Zoom party, email oderosolo@gmail.com, and you can join the Zoom party. Okay. Yep. So once again, thank you very much for joining us. We appreciate that you could take time away from your business to come and pick up insights. We will have more webinars next week. Please remember, next week on Thursday, we are meeting together again next week on Thursday at 2 p.m. because Friday is a public holiday. And on Wednesdays, we have strategy tips at 9 to 10 a.m. Our experts are available to offer you coaching, consulting, just to be able to respond to your business. Otherwise, from the team here at Sandbox, thank you very much. Thank you very much also to the backend team who are just the technical team helping us to be able to stay online and to remain relevant. Thank you very much. At the Sandbox, we look forward to seeing you next week.
Hello, my name is Naliaka. I run a real estate business, but things aren't going so well. I'm getting tired of searching for the right answers online.